Hey there, lesson 3-4A, we're going to be doing number 5 in our notes together. So flip to number 5. All right, here is our situation. We're going to write an inequality to represent it. Be sure that you have a calculator with you. Nathan has lost his mother's favorite ring, so he decides to rent a metal detector to try and find it. Sounds exciting. A rental company charges a one-time rental fee of $15 plus $2.75 per hour to rent the metal detector. Nathan has only $50 to spend. So he can spend all the way up to $50, but no more than that. So what I first want to do is to write an inequality that represents the possible number of hours that he can rent the metal detector. Then we will solve the inequality to determine how many hours can he rent the metal detector. Okay, so I think before we start with this, we're going to need to define a variable. We're asked for the possible number of hours. So if that's what we're trying to find, we maybe want to use H for hours. Okay, to write our inequality, let's take a look at our situation up here and see what it is that we're getting charged for. Looks like we have a one-time rental fee of $15 plus $2.75 per hour. So I'm going to use the blank line strategy that I used back when we were writing equations. We're paying for two things, and that's going to equal our total $50 that we have to spend. But remember, we don't have to spend all of it. We could spend less than that. Okay, so from left to right here, I'm going to be paying for the one-time fee plus the $2.75 per hour, right? The rental fee and then the hourly fee, and then that has to compare to the total, remember total right here, money that I can spend, right? Okay, so the one-time rental fee of $15, that's just one fee of $15. But then here, this is $2.75 per hour. So I have to take the $2.75 and multiply it by how many hours, because it's per. And that's where I'm going to be multiplying it by 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. And the total here is $50. Now, if this was an equation and I wanted to spend exactly $50, I would put an equal to sign. But this isn't an equation, it's an inequality. So if I read this from left to right, this is the amount of money that I spend, right? So the amount of money that I spend on the metal detector would have to be what compared to $50? Could it be equal to $50? Yes. So I know I'm going to have the or equal to. So now left to right, would the amount of money that I can spend on the metal detector be less than $50, or could the amount of money be greater than $50? Well, it would have to be less than, wouldn't it? So the amount of money that I spend would have to be less than or equal to $50. I always read it left to right. So now I've got an inequality to solve. All right, so now this is where I'm going to need my calculator. So we want to minus the 15, so we're going to take away that rental charge. So $2.75 times hours less than or equal to, and 50 minus 15 is 35. So really, I've got my hourly, $2.75 per hour, and then this is the amount of money that I really get to spend on just the hourly fee. So let's take a second here and we're going to divide it by 275. And this is where we're going to need to use our calculator. So typing in 35 divided by $2.75 an hour. Okay, so I'm getting a decimal. All right, I'm going to put my number right, I'll put my answer right here on the money. So I got H, the number of hours is, carry over the sign, less than or equal to. Now I'm getting 12.7 if I went to the tens place. So 12.7. So write an inequality to represent the possible number of hours. The number of hours would have to be less than or equal to 12.7. So now let's see if we can answer the second part of this part of the question. What's the maximum number of hours? Okay, well, you really can't, I mean, I would assume that this is total hours, right? So could I rent it for 13 hours? No. I mean, think about if you were even graphing this. here's 12, you know, here's 11, here's 10, 12.7, here's 13. That would be about here. So it would go this direction if I shaded all the possibilities. So you can't rent it for 13 hours. So the maximum number of hours would be 12 full hours. So I'd have to say for this one, 12 hours would be the max. That's how you would do this one. So this inequality represents all the possibilities, because you could really rent it for like 10 hours or 4 hours, right? But the max would be 12 total hours. All right, thanks for joining me for number 5. Good luck with your practice. Have a good day.